Right. Oh, right. Hopefully you can see me. I've got my hood on and my hat because it is. There's a wee break in the rain now. It's been absolutely painted down most of the way up, and we've just arrived here. Beautiful location. The hill we're going up tomorrow. When I say we, it's me and my son, Lewis. You can just about see it on the left-hand side of your frame is the Munro we're going up tomorrow. And that Munro is probably, dare I say this, am I going to get criticised for saying a dull Munro? It's not dull, nothing's dull, but probably one of my least favourite Munros. But I've never done it from this side before, and it actually looks pretty good. Actually, I'm intrigued to go up this way and investigate the other side of the hill, because I think it's going to be a lot more interesting. It's not dull. There's no hill. I've never had a bad time up this hill, so I'm not going to say it's dull, that's for sure. Anyway, the forecast for Scotland's mountains and the Mountain Weather Information Service was pretty bleak for most of Scotland, but this area was the only area where it suggested there might be a chance of cloud-free Munros tomorrow. So let's see what happens. It is meant to be windy, 40-mile-an-hour winds. I think the statement was on higher ridges you may find it hard to keep your feet. So it's another reason why we're doing it this way, and I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to go into the van. Hopefully this is the rain may be easing off. There's a bit of brightness over there. I'll report back later on. There's a wee bit of brightness breaking out over there late. So the wee bit of brightness that I'd seen didn't really come to much, and for most of the evening we sat in the van, played chess, we just dotted around and watched the rain outside, and every now and again you'd hear the pitter-patter stop on the roof, and we'd pop out and get the binoculars out and look at the hillside, and there was, as there often is in this part of the world, in the Eastern Highlands, there were herds of deer grazing and eagles flying about and all that sort of stuff. It was quite pleasant, but for the most part it was wet. But you know what, that forecast said, the rain wasn't going to be too bad tomorrow, was it? So yeah, we went to bed and hoped that the next day would be a little bit drier. Right, good morning. And yeah, it's actually quite nice. Feels quite nice. It's been windy though. There's certain parts on the right where the van was getting blown about, and there's gusts every now and again coming down. So I think it will be quite windy on top. But we'll see. We need to get up there and check out. The forecast did say something about it knocking off your feet, knocking. Yeah, I can't remember. I'll put it up on the screen now. It was going to be windy enough that you would be struggling to stand up or something like that. But I don't know. I've chosen this one because there's two reasons. One, the wind's coming in from the west, and we're going to be heading in west, so we'll be sheltered for the most part by the mountain. And the other thing was trying to get a cloud-free view from the top, and we're looking down Glen Cluny here, Glen Begg's on the other side, and this Munro here is probably one of the smallest ones. It's 915 metres, so the chances of that being in the cloud is lower than one which is 1,000 metres, I think, and the area we're in. Anyway, I'll shut up now. We're going to get a coffee and we'll report back hopefully when we're on the hillside, try to head up here. So the weather at this point was pretty good actually, and we had our breakfast and our coffee, and yeah, the rain was kind of just fleeting when it did come, and the sunshine even came out once or twice. So yeah, we got ourselves all kitted out, and after breakfast started on the trail and started to head uphill. And you can see here there's even a wee bit of brightness over to the left. Oh, how we wish that stayed for the rest of the day. Right, quick piece of camera because it's raining. It's been raining since we left. After me saying there were a few heavy showers and they were blowing through quite quickly, but yeah, they've not. So what we've done is, I'll spin you around. We were originally planning to go up and over this ridge here and right round, follow it round the corrie and then up to the top up there. But what we found is this, I don't know if you can make it out, there's a grassy rake here which is basically cutting out all the deep heather and making walking a lot easier. It's a bit steeper, a bit more direct, but yeah, it's making things progress, well, I think, easier and quicker. There was loads of deer as well. In fact, there still is right around us. It was like we were being watched. There was herds to the deer to the north, to the west, to the south, all over the place. So yeah, I'll have to do a tick check later, later on. But anyway, let's get up onto the ridge. The good thing is we're out of the wind. It's not too windy here, but I think that might change once we get up here. So let's brash on and we'll report back later on. So the rain until this point was been pretty light, and yeah, you can see there occasional drizzly rain, and total rainfall very little near the Glenshee area. Well, have a look at this. Soaking. I would use the technical term, as we say in Scotland, pushing doon. Certainly wasn't drizzle, and yeah, wasn't occasional. It was fairly heavy, constant, soaking wet rain, which was yeah, basically soaking us. It was dreich and druket, to use some other Scottish terms. Hopefully you can hear me. Oh man, we're on the ridge now, not too far from the summit, and I've not been doing too many bits to camera because it has been absolutely hosing it down. So much for it being mainly dry round about the Glenshee area. But anyway, that's been about 45 minutes of heavy rain. But that shower's moved on, so hopefully my trousers can dry up, because guess what I didn't do? Because I was convinced it was just going to be a shower, I thought, oh, I'm not putting my over trousers on, it'll be fine. Let me know in the comments below if you're an idiot like me and don't put them on quick enough. Anyway, right, at least I put my waterproof top on. Let's go. Oh, right, Lewis is striding ahead, trying to keep up with him. But yeah, we're not far from the summit now. You can actually see the summit, and I know that because there's about 4 or 5 people on it. It's a Munro, Carnushta, the ancient rocky summit. Anyway, it's breezy up here, but it's not super breezy. It's not knocking us off our feet like it did suggest, although it did say that was in the higher summits. And this is, as I mentioned before, just on Munro height. It's 915 metres. The cut-off for 3,000 feet is 914 point something. So yeah, another good reason to have chosen this one. So let's get to the top. I'll report back when we're up there. Right, very quick piece to camera. That's us at the summit, and the rain, I don't know if you can see it, it's going to come on again. So I'll probably put this camera in the bag, I'd stop it getting wet, and I'll report back later on. And in fact, it's the rain on now. I can see it on the lens, and I can hear it on my jacket. So yeah, I'll report back once this rain's blown through, hopefully. But look at these views, just lovely from up here. Nicer that way. Down that way is the ski centre, and that's the Cairnwell over there. I'll talk a wee bit about that later on. Right, time to get this camera away. Rain's getting heavier. Let's got the phone camera out because the other camera's in the bag. It's literally just stopped raining. Well, a wee bit. It's been pretty brutal. Hopefully you can hear this. But anyway, we're just going to head back to the van. I'll report back at the van because this is miserable. And miserable it was, and the only footage I took was on my phone. This slightly dodgy footage on the way down. It was dreich and cold and not very nice. Druket! So I'm Druket. Of course, come back to the van and the rain's gone off, but it was lashing it down. Literally, after I did that bit to camera at the summit, within 30 seconds we were soaked. So my legs were soaked, so there was no point putting over trousers on at that point. Had I put them on before when I saw it coming. Anyway, I'm annoyed at myself because I didn't put them on in the first place. One of the rules that, I mean, I've taught myself this lesson many times. Don't get wet, or do your best to stay dry in the hill, because even though it's July, I think the wind chill factor on the top was round about -5, so it's not warm. You can still get hypothermia at any time of the year. We knew it was a short round today, but had it been a longer route or a multi-day route, you'd really want to try and keep dry, which is something we just didn't blooming well do today, which I'm annoyed about. Anyway, that was Cornushta. Gonna have a cup of tea now. I'll report back once I've had something to eat, so I'm a bit grumpy. You can probably hear the fan heaters on. It's lovely. We're dried out. Got a cup of tea. Had a bite to eat. And I just thought I'd just give a wee round up. I did a wee bit outside the van about getting wet, which was a bit annoying. I'm just annoyed at myself, to be honest with you. But anyway, glad we did choose this hill, not only because of the heavy showers, but it was quite gusty on the tops. It wasn't blowing us off our feet, but when those showers came in, it was blowing us down the hill. Put it that way. So I think we chose the right route, and we were in the shelter or in the lee of the wind most of the way up as well. And it was nice, as I said, doing that from the Glen Sheeside makes sense if you're bagging Munros, because you can do Cairnwell and the outlier too. But I've done it goodness knows how many times, and that was probably Lewis's first Munro when he was about 3 or 4. Anyway, nice to see the other side of the hill. Not many paths. There were paths coming and going up in the ridge, but yeah, worth a wee explore. Just do it on a drier day. Anyway, if you've watched this far, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there as always, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Right, finish this tea and I'll head home.